12 minutes. Start.
All right, day 1, hour 0. No fights yet.
Love you, sweetie. Thanks for doing this.
Two dudes in a convertible headed south.
Headed into the snow.
Let's see how much of him disappears as he gets into the car here. Oh. It's like a glove. A latex glove, but a glove. On I-80. Nebraska's really beautiful this time of year. Dead trees, corn that hasn't been harvested, and snow and wind. That's all you see.
And we have heat.
Oh, that's been the biggest thing about this trip is the heat. Up there a little bit. So we found that the radiator does a really good job of keeping all heat out of the motor when we're up at speed, but if we're trailing somebody and going 60, it works just fine. If we turn the recirc on, it's warm enough in here. But short of that, it's a bit chilly. More than chilly. It doesn't go right and left. Right and left doesn't work. Up and down does. Up. You only slow down to 70 to do it.
Suction, help move it.
Yes. Going through Vermilion and Newcastle and watch an old man start opening a bottle. Did you need some help with that?
Yeah.
Did you like a purse to make you swing at it? Oh my God, that was funny.
Thank you.
We're finding on the trip that there's plenty of room for either one of us in here. It's when we get out of the car that everything really starts to hurt. Because you kind of get settled in, you're like, I'm not going to move for 2 hours. And you don't. You move your feet around a little bit. Yeah, that's about it.
That's it.
Alright, we'll see you guys in a little bit. In case you're wondering, we're now on a gravel road. Google's finding shortcuts, but not all of them are appreciated. What do you think, Davey?
This is not good.
Take the next left onto US 183 South.
Alright, we're turning back on the gravel now, or back on the pavement now. Hopefully it'll stay that way for 1 mile.
1 mile of gravel.
Well, we're now in Kansas, and the car went from being 60 decibels going 70 miles an hour to being 200 decibels going 70 miles an hour. One of the biggest differences we've noticed is as soon as you get into a crosswind, you can barely talk, it's so loud. Fortunately, Davey didn't bring his hearing aids, so we weren't really talking so much as yelling at each other.
We're looking for Dorothy.
We're looking for Dorothy, apparently. So we have to wait until we're not in Kansas anymore. a little bit amazed at how much corn is still on the out on the fields. Just every field we go by, well, they're finally combining some, but just about every field we go by is full of standing corn.
Sunny and windy.
Mom, it's sunny and windy. You just texted about what the weather like and how long it'll be till we get there. We have another 3 hours and 21 minutes, 208 miles, and then we'll be there. But the roads are certainly improved. There's an oil well. Didn't expect to see that out there. Other than that, there's not much going on. And there's not a lot of traffic anymore. We hardly see anybody. So, that's about it from now Colorado. We just left Kansas. It's windy enough outside that you could think that some house is going to land on some evil bitch, but we haven't seen it happen yet.
Job of combining it. It's been combined with a really bad header.
A little sample of what this road is like in real time. I feel like I should turn stabilization off so that you can see it, but hopefully the car will be bouncing around enough. Paved a gravel road. It's like they paved a gravel road, but didn't do any other maintenance to it.
I don't think they bladed the front.
Oh my god, this thing's bad. 66, but the part that actually looks like Cars 1, we already drove through that.
Yeah. While we get back into it a little bit.
I'll wipe off the lens here. Little belly rub. That's much better. We've been in the car for 13 hours yesterday, and it was about a little under 4 so far today. So 18 hours out of 30 hours in the car, that's not bad. Last night we slept really well. I didn't shoot a video this morning at all before we were leaving, but I'll post a picture right here of what the car looked like when we got to the gas station next to our hotel. We checked the decibel meter. When you're doing 80 in the car, it's 80 decibels. So hopefully you can hear everything. If you slow down to 60, it drops a lot. It's mostly wind noise. You can hardly hear the motor. Just saw a sign there for trucks doing it's doing cartwheels. This is really a cool area. Looks like some debris falling down the field right there. We're just about to cross into Arizona, and Davey's been driving for 155 miles. We only have 257 left for the day. Dave's figured that he doesn't have to drive as much today because I drove more yesterday, so he can drive less again today. I don't really know what his strategy is here.
Letting you drive the fun parts.
What's that?
You're going to drive the fun parts.
Oh. I think I didn't mention earlier, we took the Miata to what has to be the highest elevation it's ever been at 7,000, what was it,
746.
No, I think it was 7,876, whatever it was. There was a 7.6 at the end, I remember that part. But, yeah. Now we're going to drive it to the place where it'll be the hottest it's ever been. But Dave sometimes is a little twitchy with the steering wheel. Little twitchy. It's a pretty amazing view coming down through this. Davey and I were just discussing these big round caverns that are carved out all on here. I think they're from water. Dave thinks they're from giant toddlers of a foreign past land. It's surprising he can tie his own shoes. I know what you're thinking.
There's the line right there. It's going to stop right here. There's Arizona.
We're in Arizona.
Bang!
Wow. That was intense. It scared the shit out of me, and I even knew it was coming. So now we're in Arizona. We've been driving for 2 days just to get to this state. Really,
and that's it. Welcome to Arizona.
Welcome to Arizona, says Google. Yeah, let's not rear end this truck. B&B Transport. That's really pretty though. Look at that. It looks like lines of water lapping on ancient seashore. I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, these are blasting lines here, Dave. That's different.
Yeah.
I was just telling Dave about my phone here. This morning at like 4 a.m. when I was waking up, well, before I woke up, I had a dream that my phone was made of Play-Doh. And I was trying to show it to somebody, and every time I kept touching it, it kept bending and forming, and well, it's just kind of a mess. And then I was really relieved to find out when I woke up, because I had to go to the bathroom, that my phone was indeed not made of Play-Doh, and also, or Play-Doh, but also that my iPad screen wasn't broken, because I tried to explain in my dream to whoever I was talking to that, as Dave speeds up here and you can hear me less, that even though the screen was made of Play-Doh, you could still break it, and I showed him my iPad and it had a broken screen, but I didn't know that I had a broken screen at the time where I said that. So I was really happy that it wasn't broken and my phone isn't indeed Playboy, made of Playboy. It's made of Playboy, made of Play-Doh. So the trip's getting long and we're running out of things to talk about. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. For you it'll be like 2 seconds. For us it might be 2 hours. We'll see ya. We're 16 miles out of Holbrook. It's getting warm. I don't know. What else do you think, Dave? We saw a guy that went around us in a Hyundai doing like 100 mile an hour Hyundai. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
We saw him talking to his local police officer about what is appropriate speed for this particular part of the interstate. So Dave felt spiteful, but then regretted the way that he reacted to somebody else's unfortunate event. So, Dave,
although he did have it coming.
Although he did have it coming. So maybe there's still a little bit of a lesson to be learned here for Dave, but you know, it's baby steps, right, Dave?
Right.
One thing I've noticed, they just barely cut through the tops of the hills here. Almost like they were trying to find solid soil.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Rather than trying to level the road or anything like that, it's just, they always just cut 15 feet into the top of each hill for the road. It's very strange. Dave and I were talking about things that we're going to do when we get to Mesa. He challenged me to an orange eating contest, so look out for that footage. And then I told him
There's been a distinct lack of pronghorn sightings.
Yeah. Hardly any pronghorns. None while Dave was driving. We saw about 30 while I was driving. Some would say that means I'm a better driver, but that's just what some people would say.
But that would be spiteful.
That wouldn't be spiteful. That would just be a statement of fact. Yeah, other than that, we're gonna have a bike race tomorrow. We're gonna hang a cabinet. We're gonna put in a countertop. Where are we putting the countertop at?
Underneath the cabinets.
Oh, underneath the cabinet. That's a clever place for it.
On top of the washer and dryer.
Why would we mount a cabinet on the bottom of a cabinet? Or mount a countertop on the bottom of a cabinet?
On top of the washer and dryer.
On top of the weird thing is they're top load. It's really confusing. They're gonna be like a big sliding trays or something. I don't know what's going on.
Buy what materials we need for my most favorite part of our business, Lowe's.
We're Team Menards here with the El Tancarinos, so I know he's talking about Lowe's. Trying to get a sponsorship deal here, and he's talking about the competitor all the time.
7 miles from Holbrook.
What's that?
7 miles from Holbrook.
You don't have to yell at me. wind noise. It's about the only thing I can hear anymore. It's loud. Alright, we'll see you in a couple seconds.
The last time we came down through here, I came down in the Outback. A couple of curves I had tires howling.
Hi, John.
Mom said, slow down. We're okay. We're not sliding yet. So we're trying to, but we're not.